text, and the only thing that remains the text are the songs. The things that were put to music did remain, because as we know, Schubert was very, very diligent in writing everything down, and having friends of his help him to publish them. So everything that is with the music together, the poems we have remained. But we don't know exactly what the story is. But from the critics and from the songs that remained, we can build the story. And the story is something that was very, very in vogue in those years, especially in the German-speaking countries. A story with a good king that dies before his time, and the young prince or princess that are left have to suffer and hide, because otherwise they were going to be killed. And the bad new king or reigning governor will try to kill the, in this case, the princess. And then we have a prince that comes and saves everybody and saves everything. And the princess, in this case, we don't know exactly what happened, but the latest that we know is that there is we'll listen to it later. By the way, let me start here to go to the music, so that by the time we get there, we will be able to listen to it. What we know is from the latest songs and the ballet, there's a song about shepherds. So the story is that Rosamunde went back to Chyprus. Chyprus was a good shepherd woman, very, very poor. I don't know how the father of Rosamunde, the king of Cyprus, I don't know how he found her. Obviously, it's not clear, but he gave Rosamunde to Chyprus to hide in the forest. And at the end, we find Chyprus with Rosamunde. The song talks about everybody is happy. The song talks about Ferdinand. Ferdinand is the famous prince who came. The prince came, but he was hiding. He masqueraded himself to be a certain Ferdinand, a traveling salesman. Very complicated story. We don't know exactly why he masqueraded himself, but after he was kissed and became a prince, he obviously turned back and was Ferdinand again. So very complicated story, but what is very important for us is, although the whole story fell apart, we don't know anything about it, but the music remained. And the music not only remained as Rosamunde, although, as I say, we don't know exactly the story, we don't know the arias, we don't know. What we do know, for example, is that the first act was with no music at all. There was only the overture, which is not the famous Rosamunde overture, which we all know and love. It's another overture. And the critic said that the first act has to be taken away completely. Now, we also have to realize another thing, that the dancers, the actors, and the singers had only 3 days of rehearsals. Not very easy, especially with a text that is not very, very friendly. So Rosamunde had a beautiful love story with music lovers since the mid 1850 to our very day. Rosamunde became a quartet. Rosamunde became the famous overture. Did you, by any chance, see a film by with Danny Kaye, which is called Hans Christian Andersen? The beginning of that film is a ballet where Hans Christian Andersen, played by Danny Kaye, is dancing his story. He's a poor shoemaker, but he likes to tell stories. And the ballet is the overture that we're going to listen to tonight. The music itself, in its entirety, which takes about an hour, is very rarely performed. There are actually two of the famous conductors, or the great conductors, that did it more than once. One was Kurt Masur, who did it about 5 or 6 times, and Claudio Abbado did it many, many times. The last time he did it in 2006, which I understood was an outstanding performance. Excuse me. Nobody ever plays the numbers, the music, according to the order that it was written. Why? Because it doesn't make any musical sense. Maybe the story kind of found a way to tweak it in some way, and maybe it kind of made some kind of sense, but we don't know. It's gone. It's forgotten. So we start with the overture, which is a very, very beautiful overture. It takes us immediately into a spirit of mystery, into joy that is mixed together with a kind of hidden fear, a kind of hidden threat. We have a feeling that although everything is joyous and nice, something is happening, something not very nice is happening. Then we have the entr'acte. The entr'acte was always written in those song plays, Lied, Spiel. Whenever the curtain came up, there was an entr'acte. And whenever the curtain came down, there was another entr'acte. Entr'acte means between the acts, between Act 1, 2, and so forth and so forth. The outer section of this entr'acte number 2 have the same thematic material as those of the number 5, which we will also hear, which is a chorus of spirits. Now, Beneficius is the bad guy of the play. He is the reigning governor of Cyprus, and he's the guy who actually is stealing away the birthrights of Rosamunde, and because of him, she is in the forest with Chyprus. And the Chorus of Spirits is a beautiful piece of music. We will not hear it as number 5 because Claudio Abbado decided about a different order, like everybody that performs it. And as I say, not many conductors do perform the whole piece. Finds his own order here. Then we have another beautiful romance, the Vollmond strahlt of Bergesön. And this is one of the flag songs of Anne-Sophie von Otter, who is our mezzo-soprano tonight. Lovely German singer, beautiful voice, and a very, she has this lyric approach, not a dramatic approach, but a lyrical approach to singing, which is very German. It reminds us of Andreas Scholl. It reminds us of the great German opera singers or singers of classical music have the lyricism to present a story and not get dramatic with it. Pavarotti is a dramatic, operatic singer with an incredible voice. I don't think that we will ever hear a voice like that again because it's really fantastic. But as an actor, at least for my taste, he was always giving it too much. You know, he was bigger than life, and his voice was bigger than life, but it was not a big joy for me to see him on stage, which I did a couple of times. And I also will tell you a little story. I had a little vacation house in the hills above Pesaro in Italy. And second year, I think, that I came there, somebody told me that on that hill, you see that house, that's the house of the mother of Luciano Pavarotti. Okay. You know, I did not sit down and lose conscience. I succeeded to pass the day. But I think it was the fifth or sixth time that I came that I saw a lot of people driving, and there were so many cars because, you know, it's not a large road. It's quite a straight road. And because there were so many cars, the cars actually drove very, very slowly. And a lot of people left the cars and were walking with the cars. The driver sat in the car, the doors were open, and a lot of people were walking. It was like a promenade to meet the Madonna. And then I found out the story that the mother of Luciano Pavarotti was preparing her famous ravioli, and everybody was invited from the village to come. And after the whole thing, one year I was there in February, which is very, very cold. And I don't know what happened, but Luciano Pavarotti was very, very ill that year, and he was with his mother. You know, he never married, and he loved the food of his mother, and he ate a lot of it. And I sat in the cafe in a place called Urbino, beautiful city. It's a medieval city, very, very beautiful. And here comes Signor Pavarotti with a huge fur coat, and he's covering his face. he looks with red eyes, and he sits down at a table next to me. And immediately he starts talking to me as if we are friends. I mean, I never saw him in my life, and well, obviously I knew who he was, and he did not know who I was, but he started talking to me immediately, and he gave me his hand and said, "Piacere, mi chiamo Pavarotti," and I say, "Pleasure, my name is Pavarotti," and I say, "Well, pleasure is mine, and my name is not Pavarotti." And for a minute, he didn't know what I was talking about, and he looked at me, but then he started laughing with his incredible big laugh. And he, he was not, he was bigger than life. I mean, he was never down to earth. He was always incredibly full of himself and full of this incredible gift that life gave him. And the next time I saw him was like 15 years later, but I was in the hall, and he was on stage at the La Scala, and he performed, and he sang a wrong note. Now, the big story about Pavarotti was that he never learned how to read music. I don't know if it's true or not, but that was the big story. I must say that I myself heard him sing a false note many, many times on CDs. His voice was so incredible and so beautiful and so big that he could do anything. But the public, the audience of La Scala never forgives singers, and they in La Scala they have a tradition until today. They have at the last row of La Scala, they have what they call the I fischiatori, the whistlers, and those are the people that come to the gala and wait for something, for a reason to be able to whistle. And they started whistling when he sang the wrong note, and he just couldn't hold it anymore. And he started shouting at them. And this was in the middle of an opera. The opera was La Bohème. And he left the stage. The curtain came down, and the conductor came and said that there's going to be an extraordinary pause of 20 minutes, and it became 45 minutes, and then it finished, and everything was okay. But that was those were my two meetings with Luciano Pavarotti. And why am I telling you all this about Luciano Pavarotti at this stage? Because Luciano Pavarotti made very famous in a Christmas carol a piece that was taken out of the music of Rosamunde. The entr'acte number 3, which is in D bemol major and andantino, is actually one of the two best known pieces of this score. And we heard them many, many times. First of all, it's the leading theme of the famous Rosamunde quartet, the Deutsch 804, a little bit modified. It also appears as the theme on which we have the 6th variation in the impromptu, the Deutsch 935. Other Rosamunde music that Schubert used, a melody of the Rosamunde was to be reused by Schubert in chamber music, in the string quartet, as we said, and the impromptu. And some people say that the last ballet, which we will hear, ballet number 3, was written by Schubert as the last act of the unfinished. Whether it's true or not, we will never know. He wrote the unfinished. He didn't finish the unfinished, but he wrote the unfinished in 1822, and he stopped writing it completely in something like September, October of 1823. So maybe, but it's written in the same key, but it doesn't really mean a lot. But it would make sense. If we listen to that, it would make sense. So it's a good story, probably not a true story, but quite a good story. As I told you, Samuel Goldwyn directed Danny Kaye in a film about the life of Hans Christian Andersen, and the ballet number there was the opening of the film, and it was danced by no other than Zizi Jeanmaire, the great cabaret danseuse and chanteuse. And in 1980, Luciano Pavarotti sang Mille Cherubini in Coro and made it very, very famous. He also actually sang it the last time that he sang it, and he said he will not sing it again, was about 3 months, no, probably more, about 6 months before Princess Diane met her tragic death. There was a gala evening in Paris, and she came there, and Pavarotti sang, and she came on stage at the end, and they kissed and everything, and after she died, he said he'll never sing it again. So, which is a nice thing to say, and it's very much Pavarotti, who was, as I say, bigger than life and fantastic singer and an outstanding human being. Tonight we will hear the Chamber Orchestra of Europe, directed by Claudio Abbado. Claudio Abbado, who is an outstanding conductor of anything, either German or Austrian. He does really proud Mahler, Strauss, Wagner, but he's Italian. He's Italian who never, if he can, tries never to sleep outside of Italy. So whenever he works in Germany, he has a driver to drive him home. Well, I guess he does sleep over there, but he has a driver to drive him home. He was very, very ill about 10 years ago, 8 years ago, sorry, 8 years ago. He was very, very ill, suffering from bad disease, cancer. And there was talks that he was never going to work again, and he never stopped working. And it took about 5 or 6 years, but it's now 2 years or 3 years maybe that he is conducting more than ever, and he looks fantastic again. Fantastic conductor. The singer tonight is Anne-Sophie von Otter. It was written for soprano, but she's a mezzo-soprano, but she can allow herself to sing it because she has such a rich, warm voice. The chorus, which is also the chorus of Europe, is conducted here by Ernst Senf. The chorus is a chorus of men only. We'll have the chorus of men in the spirits and in the hunters, etc., etc. Let's listen to the overture. As I say, normally it takes about an hour. Claudio Abbado, being Italian, does everything faster, and it takes 58 minutes. Kurt Masur never did it in less than 1 hour and 10 minutes. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a curiosity. So let's listen to it and let's enjoy. I see that you don't hear it. Is it true? It's true. What does it say on your screen? Does it say it's downloading, or what does it say? Can you see on your screen?
No, I
Does
see
it say
something.
what?
Yeah.
What does it say?
It's saying loading to me.
Okay. No, I see here that you're still downloading. I don't know why. Okay, well. Okay, let's try it again. You didn't hear anything at all before?
Oh,
You didn't hear anything. Let me try and see what's happening here. Well, let's go and see. Oh, here it's better now. Okay. My dog, Nicolo, is telling us that the music is going to come in a second. The last time that I know that the Rosamunde was performed was in 2009 in San Francisco, and the conductor was Simon Ruttle, Sir Simon Ruttle, and he did not perform the whole thing, but almost. He performed this and Mendelssohn, which is something that Kurt Masur used to do. But Simon cut quite a lot. The whole performance was something like 40 minutes. But what he did very interesting, he started off with only the strings. He started off with only the strings part of the orchestra, and then in the third number, the third act, the other players walked onto the stage while the chorus started singing. And I only read about it, I did not see it, but I understand it was a very strong dramatic effect. And well, Simon Rattle is a very dramatic and fine conductor who also conducts mainly in Germany now. Germany is blessed with fantastic musicians and fantastic opportunities to listen to great music. Our friend Andreas Scholl, who will be back with us November 29, is performing now in Japan. The record that he did, the CD that he did in Bonn before the festival, they recorded the music by Purcell. The record will come out, I think, about 5 or 10 days before our meetings, and well, we will try to have it at the meeting, but he did not promise me because he was not sure when it will come out, but he will tell us about what he is doing and everything. And before that, the 17th of November, which is a Monday, we will have here with us Tamar Halperin, who is a very gifted young musician. She's a pianist and harpsichord player and organ player and keyboard player. She's one of those very unique musicians who plays the music she loves. she doesn't play a style. She doesn't play only Bach. By the way, she has a PhD in music from Juilliard, which is not bad. And the theme of her PhD was Johann Sebastian Bach, which is not easy to write a PhD on, but because I would think that everything has been said about Bach, but obviously not. So Tamar will be with us, and she asked if she could be with us with either a piano or a pianola or something, because she feels she needs to always have her instrument with her, and obviously I was very happy to do that. Another small detail, Tamar is Andreas Scholl's girlfriend. They live together. You probably saw her in one of the meetings with Andreas. She came and left. Let's see if we are better here. No, you're still somebody's still downloading. I don't know what's happening tonight. Must have some problems with the uh, you must have a little gray thing there which has to say something, because I only see that that you have difficulties downloading. Does it say anything? Does it say uploading or something like that?
Still says loading.
It still says loading.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It's strange. So I would have preferred not to have to do it, but as they are doing it to me, I'm going to have to both play all the parts and sing to you as a mezzo soprano. As you can hear, I do have a voice of a soprano, but I will try time to sing as a mezzo soprano to remind everybody of the voice of Anne-Sophie van Otter. I always call her Anne-Marie because there's a violinist who is fantastic, also German, and they just have a very similar name for me, obviously. The overture is, some of you might recognize it. It's from a Lied of Goethe called Die Zauberharfe, the magic harp, and Schubert wrote the music to that in 1819. One of the very, very beautiful leads of Schubert and of Goethe, and he used it here almost without changing, But obviously, he put all the instrumentalization and all the orchestration, which makes the music completely different. I don't know. You're still downloading, I see. I have no idea why. It says here that you are connecting to the media and not downloading, which is a pity because we're running deep into the night. I mean, obviously, I can tell you stories without end,
Please
but
do.
I think you're probably better off listening to Schubert. A very nice story is Schubert met Kupelwieser at one of the Schubertiade, and they became very, very close friends. Kupelwieser was also a musician, and he was a very good-looking man, and he was tall, slim. He was a known duelist. He used to call people up for a duel for anything. Of course, it was forbidden to do, but he did, and he was also very, very famous as a big lover of ladies and of a good dinner. And he arranged for Schubert to work for the Esterhazy family. The Esterhazy family is a very famous, rich Hungarian, Austrian-Hungarian family that for something like 250 years was feeding a lot of very famous artists and musicians, Beethoven, Mozart, among others, and Schubert worked for them. And the way that Kupelwiese arranged for Schubert to work for them was through a friend of Kupelwiese, and he was told to be a friend of his woman aides. In other words, they were going together, romancing the ladies of Vienna. And the name of that guy was Schober, not Schubert, but Schober. And Schober was, well, I saw a portrait. Schober was really very dramatic, black hair, blue eyes, and Schober did help Schubert to get the job, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, although they became friends, I mean, Schober then later would come to a lot of Schubertiade, but between them, between Schober and Schubert, there was never a warm relationship. And there's a famous, I don't know, infamous story of the big love of Schubert's life was a servant lady who worked for the Esterhazy. Her name was Pepi. Nothing ever happened between them because because Schubert just, I don't know, he was always too shy. But they would go on long promenades and they would talk into the night. And Schubert would write to his friend, among others also to Kupelwiese, how terribly he was not getting along with Schober, but he was getting along very well with Pepi, with the servant lady, who then later got married and had two very gifted musicians, and one of the gifted musicians was to be a student of the, I don't want to say it, but I'll say it, the wife of Schumann, who was a very, very famous pianist and very famous, a very gifted pianist, and a very, very known composer before. And she was a teacher of one of the sons of Pepi, became a trombone player, but he wanted to learn music with Carla Schumann, and so how Pepi not only was the companion of Schubert, but also the mother of a fine musician. And let's see what it says now. It still says that you are not downloading. I have no idea what's happening tonight. Is there a storm over Europe, something, or no? Okay, I don't know. Such a beautiful music, and I can't make you hear it. I have no idea what to do. Hmm. It really is a pity because it seems like nothing is moving here. Let me see something else here.
Now it says waiting for playback.
Yeah, I think we might be there. I think we might be there.
Is this meaning that you are not going to sing? Please.
Not tonight, Josephine. But what we are going to, I don't know why the overture is still loading, so we will do something which is not very nice, but we will do it. And we will listen. Let me see. No. Okay. Well, we're going to do something very interesting. And I think that, yes, okay. We're going to hear the Andantino, which was written as the end of the third act. There were Aufzug und Abzug. Aufzug was when the curtain was lifted up, and Abzug was when the curtain came down. So this is the entr'acte after the third curtain. It's an andantino, and let's listen to it. Just to remind you, we're listening to Rosamunde with the Chamber Orchestra of Europe, Claudia Abbado. there there's more than one reason why I chose to play this. Well, the first reason is because the other piece did not load yet. But I chose this one piece mainly because of two curiosities. One is, I don't know if you remember, but in the beginning, the first almost 2 minutes of this are mainly bassoons and clarinets. And this is the piece where Sir Simon Rattle had the um, bassoon players and clarinet players actually come on stage and join the string players that started the concert. Another curiosity about this piece, this very piece, this is, I don't know if it's true or not, it's a curiosity, it's a story that went around with it when they started to rehearse the piece. The stage manager was completely outside of himself because Schubert wrote, this is what the director told him, the director of the play. The director told him to write an entr'acte of about 4 minutes, because that is the time they will need in order to change the decor. And then when they started rehearsing, the stage manager went completely crazy. He said, it's not enough. We don't have enough time. So Schubert, this is a story, I don't know if it's true, during the first rehearsal, and I remind you, there were only 3 days of rehearsals. So during the first hours, I don't know, of rehearsals, he wrote about 3 or 4 more minutes to the play, to the entr'acte. Now, this entr'acte is also the base of the impromptu, and it's a very lovely piece. Okay, we will try the Zauberharfe, which is still not behaving itself, so we will go for something else. Okay, we will do something like everybody did. Here we are with Rosamunde and Chyprus in the middle of the forest, and we hear the shepherds that come and sing their song. It's a chorus only of men. I hope that we can hear it. Yes, we can. This is a chorus only of man, and we'll listen to it. And now I would like to, we're going to do our special order here because as it's playing games with us, we'll show it that we can play games with it. And we will go now to the chorus of the spirits. Hopefully the spirits are ready, because if they're not ready, spirits can be actually very unpleasant from the experience I had with them. So we will try with the spirits. Let me see if they're friendly. No, they're not friendly. We have a special evening. So if this is the case, I think what we will do is we will give Madame, no, not this, just a second. Yeah, we will give Madame von Otter the possibility to sing. This is the most famous aria of Rosamunde. Almost every famous singer sings it, sang it, starting with Maria Callas. Everybody you can think of sang this, and we will now hear Anne-Sophie von Otter in the Romance Der Vollmond strahlt auf Bergesöhn. The full moon shines over Bergesöhn. And this is an andante, it's a slow movement, but with a theme. here we could all hear the very easy and intimate way that Anne-Sophie presents a song. She tells a story, and if you remember in the film about Richard Levitt, Richard Levitt used to say, you just have to open your mouth and let everything that is within you come out. He also say, never forget that somewhere within you there's always an animal that comes out. But Anne-Sophie, at least here, has this very easy way of singing, and it becomes like a secret that she tells to each and every one in the audience personally. It's between her and each and every one in the audience. And it's not only in Schubert, it's in almost everything that, at least everything that I heard her sing. And now we are going to go to another one of our hunters. This is actually, it was written in the second act, but Abbado decided to do it almost at the end of the recording here, and we will second Abbado, and we'll do it now. It's how beautiful it is to live out on the green fields. That's the name of it. It's not the famous green fields that John Dowland put to music. It's Schubert and the lyrics of Madame von Chesy. And let's listen to the chorus of the hunters singing in the Rosamunde. By the way, the very high voices that we hear are the voices of Xaipa and of Rosamunde. There were no women in the chorus as written by Schubert, although in some of the performances, Kurt Masur at least, I know, used women, because he said that in the forest and with the shepherds, there were certainly women, and as the music itself is very, very high, he allowed the choir to also have lady singers. And we will now go to the ballet that actually finishes up the recording, and we don't know exactly where it was in the play. We do know that it was not the last ballet, because we do know that the last piece that closed everything was the finale. And for whatever reason, I am yet to hear the finale played by somebody. And I know it exists because I saw the score, but for whatever reason, people don't play it. And I saw the score. It's a very, very lovely piece of music, but what can we do? So let's listen to the ballet, which closes not only this recording, by the way, almost everybody that recorded it closes it with the ballet music number 2, the Andantino, and we should listen to it now. So here we had the second ballet, the Andantino, and we will now hear, I hope, let's see if they allow us. Yes, okay. We are about to come into the dark forest, and the sounds you hear around you are not nice sounds. They're not friendly sounds. They are the sounds that are waiting for you behind the shadows. They are the sounds of the cat of Cheshire. They are the sounds of Alice that falls through the hole, down, down, down. In der Tiefe wohnt das Licht. In the deep lives the light, and it's the chorus of the spirits. For the spirits, the light comes only when you go deep, deep, deep into the earth. And now we are going to come to the first ballet. We heard the second ballet before. We're now going to hear the first ballet. I hope that you're all with us. Yes, okay. This is the Sorry about this. Here we are. I know. What am I doing here? I'm losing myself. Don't go away. Stay here with us. Here we are. Okay. This is the ballet, the first ballet of the play. It's an andante, un poco assai, which means it's rather slow and very lovely music. And let's listen to it. And now we are going to finish our music for this evening with the overture that we tried to listen in 1876 and then again in 1954 and in 2010. And finally, I think that now we are ready to listen to the overture that is a remix that Schubert did on Die Zauberharfe, the magic harp. And with this, we close another Schubertiade and hope to see you again here with us at Sofia, where minds meet online. And of course, if this were Beethoven, after the ta, he would have given us ta 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 to make sure that everything is finished and the good children go to bed and the cats sing at night. So thank you very much for being with us. I hope you enjoyed it. And I warmly suggest that you run out and buy Rosamunde and hope to see you again. On Thursday, we have a very, very interesting evening. It's with the Cremerata Baltica and Gideon Kare. Ah, here is the cat. The tail. The Gideon Kramer and the Cremerata Baltica are going to play for us the 8 seasons. Astor Piazzolla wrote 4 seasons, but you know that he was Argentinian from Buenos Aires, and the seasons in Argentina and in Italy are exactly the opposite. So when there is winter in Buenos Aires, and there is summer in Venice, Vivaldi wrote 4 seasons, and Astor Piazzolla replied with his 4 seasons. And what Gideon Kramer did, he did a marvelous and brilliant combination of the two. And we will listen to a very fine piece of artistry and music, the 8 seasons of Piazzolla Vivaldi, played by Cremerata Baltica and Gideon Kramer. And that's for Thursday. And of course, Saturday, we are again with the rebel outsider Albert Camus. Good evening and hope to see you soon.